Bro, that's heresy.
You know when you've moved away from your childhood home and one of your parents, usually your mother, is like, can you come and get your stuff? Mine almost purged some vintage Pokemon cards. This bad boy right here is a vintage 99 Wizards of the Coast Pokemon card binder. It is not in the best of ways. You can see the little wizard trademark here. And I thought it would be fun to go inside and see what cards we have. I will admit that some of the cards were in a shoebox. Yeah, younger me didn't know what the hell they were doing. So right off the bat, we have a page of holos. Alright, let's dive in. We've got Blaine's Charizard, Flareon, Rayquaza, Kangaskhan, Articuno, Chansey, Clefairy, Clefable, and Lapras. I'm going to stick some price estimates over some of my favourite cards from each part of this binder just to give myself and you an idea of what kind of values we're looking at here. As of the current recording date, this card is valuing at $357 ungraded, and at a PSA 10 it's $6,175. Obviously I have no idea what these cards would actually grade, so take that with a pinch of salt. Holo Articuno ungraded is $29, and at a PSA 10 it's $3,283, so a massive jump. Lapras Fossil Holo ungraded is only $10, but in a PSA 10 it's nearly $4,000 at $3,881. I specifically remember trading my cousin for this Rayquaza Pop Series card from the year 2004. Fun fact, that is 3 years after 9/11. Unfortunately, events like that help to remind me just how old some of these cards are. Anyway, he is $43 ungraded and $1,645 in a PSA 10. Okay, let's look at the next page. Younger me doesn't seem to have a lot of consistency in my organising, but this Holo Venusaur is a great find. Ungraded, this card goes for about $58, but in a PSA 10 it's $3,660. We've got some Porygons, some Dragonites, and lots of Eevees. It seems to be mainly a mixture of normal and grass types at this part. Oh wait, whomst do we have here?
Hello.
This one's a little bit confusing because I found two completely different values for what looks like the same card. In one valuation I can see that it's $21 ungraded and then $1,262 as a PSA 10. Then in the other I can see that it's $477 ungraded and $10,000 in a PSA 10. So maybe someone in the comments can help me figure out what's going on here. Another page, another why didn't you organize this by energy type? We got Blastoise, Gyarados, Victreebel, Dark Vileplume, Venomoth, Pinsir, Dark Weezing, Vileplume, Nidoqueen. The crease in this card is pissing me off. The problem with these old binders is these D-rings. They basically crease into the cards over time, which is why none of the cards are staying in this relic. They are being evacuated. This reverse holo Blastoise ungraded is $114, and in a PSA 10 it's just under $700. Excessive pink marshmallow page. Do my eyes deceive me, or do we have a consistent energy type finally? Pests and pest control. Okay, I can see what 10-year-old me was doing. Looks like we've got one final page of normal types and then some fire types. Some very cute Dratinies and Dragonairs, followed by some Moltres and Ninetales variations. Things are starting to get a little bit gappy, but we have some Charmanders. I love Charmander, I always will. And some Vulpixes. You can see just how stiff these pages are.
Bigger.
How was that? Was that good? This Moltres has seen things. We do have a first edition. Whomst let the dog type Pokemon out? Me, because I love dog type Pokemon.
Peter, the horse is here.
Looks like we finally have some psychic types. I can see Haunter, Mewtwo, and Mew, Dark Alakazam, Dark Hypno, Now this looks like a nicely organised section. We have Haunter, Ghastly. This Ghastly card was always such an odd little guy. Here we have a Sabrina's trainer page with lots of spooky fellas, including a first edition Sabrina's Mr. Mime. Now this card confuses me because it is the newest card in this binder and I have no idea where it came from. And yet more psychic types, although I think this is probably mainly commons. There's nothing too crazy in here in terms of rarity or holos. This Slowpoke is reeling from late stage capitalism. Could it be we have finally reached consistent energy type pages? This holo Dark Machamp is stunning, so I'm just going to have a quick look at him online. Ungraded he is $45 and in a PSA 10 he is $967. There's also this holo Dark Dugtrio which is $30 ungraded and $540 graded. This is a nice little selection of Machops and Machokes. More rock types. Seadra, Claydol, Sandshrew, Sandslashes. Lots of Team Aqua and Team Magma cards. And looks like I was trying to start a Brock's collection there. Diglets for days. Some Cubones, Geodudes, Golem, Graveler. Mr. President, we've hit water type Pokemon. This Misty's Seadra holo is valued at $18 ungraded and $430 in a PSA 10. Ungraded, this reverse holo Starmie is just under $42 and $187 in a PSA 10, so not a huge jump there in value. This base set holo Poliwrath is just under $20 ungraded, and in a PSA 10 it is just over $1,000, so big jump. This reverse holo Marill is just over $40 ungraded and $1,345 in a PSA 10. It's so good to see some of these OG starter Pokemon again. It brings back such good memories. Got a little Misty's Gym collection going here. Some nice cards. Even over 20 years ago, there were so many cards for Starmie and Staryu, and for Horsey and Seadra. This Tentacruel card featuring Dragonite was really familiar to me, and it turns out it was a promo card from 2001. The raw card goes for $40 and in a PSA 10, $323. Yet more water types, Poliwags, Magikarps, ooh, Dark Gyarados, Mudkip, one of my favourite starters. I think we're finally getting towards the end of the binder. There's a small selection of holo trainer cards here in Dark type cards. This holo Team Rocket card is $22 raw and $286 in a PSA 10. Unfortunately, I think I threw out most of my trainer cards along with my energy cards. So that's the end of my vintage binder, but certainly not the end of my Pokemon journey. Next, I'm planning to look through my cards in detail to choose ones to go off to be graded. So make sure you subscribe to not miss out on that and other upcoming Pokemon content.